Cody Rhodes turned down Sami Zayn's help. That happened first. Before anything else. Before the match, before the Golden Boy comment, before any of the chaos that followed, Sami Zayn walked into that backstage corridor on SmackDown May 22 with a genuine offer to help the undisputed WWE Champion against Gunther. And Cody Rhodes said no. Did not even consider it. Dismissed it the way a man dismisses an offer from someone he does not view as a peer. And then Sami Zayn stood in Nick Aldis' office and watched Cody get the kind of attention and conversation time that Sami has been fighting his entire career to receive, and the words came out before he could stop them. Golden Boy. Cody gets the time because he is the Golden Boy. And Cody Rhodes, still in that room, still listening, did not apologize, did not explain himself, did not acknowledge that Sami's frustration came from a real place. He challenged him to a match. Right there. As if competition was the correct response to a man telling you he feels invisible. And Sami Zayn accepted. And what happened over the next 20 minutes on that SmackDown broadcast in Lexington, Kentucky has every single Bloodline historian asking the same question. Was Sami Zayn just having a bad night? Or was this the moment the honorarius finally decided that being the good guy has cost him everything, and being used one more time by Cody Rhodes was the final straw that pushed him back toward the only family that ever truly knew what to do with his talent? Roman Reigns' bloodline. Zayn caught Rhodes going for a Cody cutter or disaster kick and knocked him down to the floor, then targeted the knee throughout the match. Rhodes had to beat the 10 count, rushing back into the ring at 9. TJR Wrestling, https://tjrwrestling.net/review/TJR-WWE-Raw-Deal-04-27-26-review. Sami Zayn was winning. Not just competing, winning. He had Cody Rhodes in genuine trouble with a tactically intelligent assault on the knee that nearly took the champion out before the match reached its midpoint. Zayn nearly put Rhodes away with a Blue Thunder driver and a figure 4 leglock before Rhodes rallied back with a beautiful disaster kick just as Gunther stormed in from behind and locked in the Gojira clutch. WWE, https://www.show/raw/2026-04-27. And then came the moment that should be examined more closely than anyone has examined it so far. Gunther interfered. And instead of the interference costing Rhodes the match, instead of Sami Zayn's offense plus Gunther's distraction producing the result that a man who had just been dismissed and insulted by the champion deserved, Rhodes sidestepped Zayn, causing Gunther to crash into the corner. Seconds later, Rhodes capitalized with Cross Rhodes to steal the win. TJR Wrestling, https://tjrwrestling.net/review/TJR-WWE-Raw-Deal-04-27-26-review. He sidestepped Zayn. He used Sami's body as a redirect mechanism, grabbed his positioning in that ring and turned it into the exact maneuver that sent Gunther crashing instead of Rhodes. The man who refused Sami's help earlier that night used Sami's body to win the match minutes later. Without asking, without thanking him, without acknowledging it happened at all. Gunther launched another assault after the match, powerbombing Rhodes before applying the Gojira clutch again. This time, Zayn entered the ring, stared directly at Gunther and backed away. The camera lingered on Zayn standing halfway up the ramp while Cody lay unconscious in the ring. WWE, https://www.show/raw/2026-04-27. The camera lingered. WWE's production team made a deliberate choice to hold on Sami Zayn's face rather than cut back to Gunther's dominance or Cody's unconsciousness. They wanted you to watch and think. And here is the theory that every Bloodline historian needs to take seriously. What if Sami Zayn entering that ring was never actually an attempt to help? What if the stare at Gunther, the moment that looked like hesitation, like a man deciding whether to risk his body for a friend who had just used him, was actually Sami Zayn checking the temperature of the room, watching to see if anyone else was going to step in, confirming, in real time, that the entire SmackDown roster was going to let Cody Rhodes suffer the consequences of treating people like tools instead of partners? And only once he had that confirmation, only once he understood that nobody else was coming, that this moment belonged entirely to him, did he make the calculated decision to walk away. Not hesitation. Not fear. A test. And Cody Rhodes failed it by not earning Sami's loyalty in the first place. After months of trying to become a fully fledged Bloodline member, Zayn was shockingly kicked out of the group after refusing to strike Owens, his former best friend, with a steel chair. WWE, https://www.show/raw/2026-04-27. Think about the symmetry here. Sami Zayn was kicked out of Roman Reigns' bloodline because he chose friendship over faction, because he could not bring himself to hurt Kevin Owens even when his entire status in that group depended on it. He sacrificed everything for loyalty to a friend. And on SmackDown May 22, the exact opposite situation produced the exact opposite result. Cody Rhodes, someone Sami considers enough of a friend to offer help unprompted, used him without asking and then needed him to risk his body for a second time in the same night. And Sami said no. The honorarius who once refused to betray a friend for power just refused to sacrifice himself for a friend who treats him like an afterthought. That is not random. That is the most psychologically consistent character arc available to Sami Zayn. He has not changed who he is. He has changed who he is willing to extend that loyalty to. And right now, the answer appears to be not Cody Rhodes. Here is where this theory becomes genuinely explosive instead of just speculative. Paul Heyman told Muscle Man Malcolm, "I think WWE would be remiss if WWE doesn't sign Zilla Fatu at the very first opportunity to do so." Yahoo Sports, https://www.yahoo.com/article/www-backslash-20265-full-updated-025116930.html. Heyman publicly endorsing the son of Omega as a future bloodline adjacent signing. Rumors reached a boiling point after Zilla Fatu visited the WWE Performance Center on June 8, 2026, catching the attention of both casual observers and hardcore wrestling fans. YouTube, https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=UXWEPGWVSI0, the Performance Center. Officially. Recently. While Sami Zayn was processing the most isolating moment of his SmackDown career, Jacob Fatu acknowledged Roman Reigns as his tribal chief on Raw after losing Tribal Combat at Clash in Italy, dropping to one knee before the champion, with Jimmy Uso calling it a warning shot to everyone on the roster as the entire bloodline held up one finger in unison. WWE, https://www.WWE.com/video/Roman-Reigns-Hyphen-accepts-Fatu-April-27-2026. The bloodline is rebuilding. Roman has Jacob Fatu's acknowledgement. Zilla Fatu is reportedly close to signing, and Roman Reigns has spent his entire career recruiting people who feel exactly the way Sami Zayn felt standing in that Lexington corridor, overlooked, dismissed, undervalued by the people they trusted. Roman Reigns built an empire on exploiting that specific emotional wound, and Sami Zayn just had it ripped open on national television by a friend who refused his help and then used his body to win a match without saying thank you. Here is the theory in its complete form. Sami Zayn did not snap impulsively on SmackDown May 22nd. He has been building toward this moment since the Gingerbread Man feud started feeling like a joke at his expense. Since Trick Williams took his championship and turned the reign into comedy. Since every storyline he has been given in 2026 has positioned him as a punchline rather than a main event threat. And when Cody Rhodes, the most decorated, most protected, most consistently main event champion on SmackDown, turned down his help and then used his body without acknowledgement, Sami Zayn made a decision. Not in that moment. Before it. He walked into that corridor already prepared for Cody to say no. He went into that match already calculating how the night needed to end. And the walk up the ramp, the moment that looked like hesitation, was actually the final test of a plan that has been building for weeks. Confirmed that nobody on SmackDown values him the way the bloodline once promised to, and then walked toward the only family in WWE history that has ever offered him real power in exchange for loyalty. The vision currently consists of Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory under Paul Heyman, but Roman Reigns' bloodline, freshly reinforced by Jacob Fatu's acknowledgement, is the faction actively rebuilding and recruiting heading into the summer. WWE, https://www.WWE.com/shows/raw/2026-04-27/Roman-Reigns-Jacob-Fatu. Roman Reigns is rebuilding. Zilla Fatu is reportedly close. And Sami Zayn just proved on national television that he is more available to be recruited than anyone realized. Sami Zayn offered to help Cody Rhodes. Got rejected. Got insulted as a golden boy complainer. Got challenged to a match instead of receiving an apology. Nearly won that match with his own offense. Got used by Rhodes as a body shield against Gunther's interference without thanks, without acknowledgement. And then watched the same man who used him get choked unconscious and decided he had given enough. The camera lingered on Zayn standing halfway up the ramp while Cody lay unconscious in the ring, with Zayn's actions possibly revealing even more than Gunther's attack itself. WWE, https://www.WWE.com/shows/raw/2026-04-27, possibly revealing even more. That is the exact phrase being used by people watching this unfold in real time. Was this Sami Zayn finally snapping after years of being treated as a tool instead of a partner? Or was this the most patient, most calculated, most devastating long-term plan of his entire WWE career, engineered specifically to put himself in position for Roman Reigns' rebuilding bloodline to come calling? Drop your theory in the comments right now. Was this Sami Zayn's plan all along? Does he end up joining Roman Reigns' new bloodline before SummerSlam? And does Cody Rhodes regret turning down his help for the rest of his championship reign? Share this video with every wrestling fan you know. We are Wrestling News CC. Sami Zayn walked away. And the wrestling world is still trying to figure out if that walk was 40 seconds of weakness or 4